Hello everyone, my name is Beckett and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to use the Recalibration Station in the Division 2. So whether you're a new, returning player, or just an average player who doesn't really understand exactly what you're doing and not sure if you're making the best decisions. So I'm going to be walking you through that process. But before we get started, if you like the content, you enjoy it, hit that subscribe, and if you end up enjoying this video, hit that like. It really helps and I really appreciate it. Alright, now that that's all out of the way, we can get on with the video. So the Recalibration Station is in the base of operations. It's also in Haven if you have Warlords of New York, and it's in there. So here we are in Washington DC, right in the front entrance. We're just going to run over to the left. And here is the Recalibration Station. You have to do a campus settlement mission, which you should have done while you were in the leveling process. So if you're not capped out level 30, level 40, whatever expansion you have, don't even use it. It would just be a waste of resources. Alright, so let's get into what the Recalibration Station lets us do. So what it lets us do is recalibrate one stat, one attribute, one talent off a piece of gear or weapon, as long as it's not an exotic. You can recalibrate exotics, but that's a whole different process, and I will show you how to do that as well a little bit later in the video. So let's say we're farming a great piece of gear drops, but one stat or one attribute isn't to our liking, so we can go over to Emma and come to the Recalibration Station, and she'll fix it all up, and we can change to whatever stat we like to our build. But once we change that one stat, we can't change any other stats, and then we can always change that stat. Let's say we changed it for weapon damage because it was a skill tier. We can always change it back to skill tier or armor, but we can't change it back to a skill tier and then go and change one of the smaller attributes. If you understand how that works, it's much easier, and you can kind of figure out, okay, so I got 2 out of 3 of the good rolls, so I can change the third roll. And that's how we're going to be looking at it. So that's how I always look when I go through my gear. I'm like, oh, okay, those are 2 or 3 really good rolls. I'm going to stick with that. That's why getting backpacks, chests, and weapons can be kind of daunting, and then the other pieces seem to be really easy. So let's get in, because I crafted a couple pieces, so I'm going to show you guys the best decision moving forward when you're re-rolling your gear, changing attributes, talents, and build choices. Alright, here we are at Emma Richards, and we're just going to open up her menu and just click on Recalibration Station. Don't worry about Recalibration Library. If you already know how to do that, great, but on another video, we're going to be getting into that. So we're going to go ahead over here. So what I went ahead and did, I just went and crafted a backpack, one of the new ones. Where is she? Right here. Okay, it ended up being a rainbow roll, but let's say it had the talent we wanted. It had, I mean, it's rainbow is garbage, but let's say it had the talents we wanted, but we wanted to change the skill attribute because on this brand set, it gives armor regen and stuff like that. So let's say we were running a red build that had everything we needed. So all we needed to do was change this out. So we just come up, click on this, and then we could go, oh, I want weapon damage on this, let's say. And we just go over and transfer here. Can't go back. Remember, you can't go back once you did that. And once we did that, it's awesome. So it's the perfect roll. This is not a perfect roll, guys. So don't go in the comments and say you said this is a perfect roll. No, I'm just saying if it had all the stats you wanted, but it was missing that one, we go over here and we do that. See, and then if we went back and now everything is grayed out, we can't change any of this because we already recalibrated that one stat. But if we always wanted to go back or switch between the 3, we can always do that. It just depends on your build, what you're doing. I don't know exactly how you're playing the game, your play style, all the stuff that goes into that decision. Okay, now we're gonna go over to weapons. So we crafted an M4, so we're gonna come back over here to this menu, and we're gonna come over to assault rifles. Where is our new? Okay, here's a new one, and this one didn't even roll that badly. I mean, it's not terrible. It's almost really good. But okay, so we're gonna come over here. See, it's got 11% assault rifle damage, 16% health, headshot damage, and bread basket. So that's an okay. You know what? But let's say no, we want max weapon damage. So we also have to have this stat in our recalibration library to do this. You would have to have recalibrate broke something down in your recalibration library higher than what you want. And we'll go into that in the next video. But for right now, we're just going to be like, okay, I want to change this. Transfer that to 15% assault rifle damage. And now my weapon does more damage than I did before. That's all great. We're going to kill enemies faster. We're going to get gear faster. And then we can move forward. All right, so let's say I got an exotic just dropped, but it was bad rolls. All right, I got a Bullet King earlier. I already re-rolled it, but as you can see, 14% LMG damage, 11 damage out of cover, 9 critical hit damage. Not God roll, but is perfect for me because I'm probably going to try it once or twice and never pick up this bad boy again. If you're a Bullet King fan, I'm sorry. I hate LMGs and I hate them in this game. But if we did want to re-roll that, we would first have to buy a blueprint over here at Inya, or however you say her name. It would be over here if we can buy it, but I already bought it from her. You have to get the weapon first before you can buy the blueprint. Once you have bought it, you would just come over to the weapons. If it was, let's say, a mass, like you want to re-roll your coyotes, you would come over here. It would be under there, that very last tab, but it's a weapon. So we're going to go over here. We're going to re-roll. And as you can see, I have almost all the blueprints, but we're missing a few. We want to re-roll the Bullet King. So we come over here, we select the item, and then we select it again, and then we'd hold X to craft it. And we just need to make sure we have a Bullet King, we have exotic components, and the rest of the materials that we need. And then we'll re-roll it. But none of the gear rolls will be different. In exotics, they all stay the same. All the stats, everything. The only thing that changes is the numeric value. So let's say you had only 10% LMG one roll, and you rolled again, and it was maxed out to 15%. So that's how that worked. They're always going to stay the same. But the other piece of gear, your high ends, your purples, don't re-roll purples. Please never re-roll purples. Just the yellows. You can do that stuff like that. And your green gear sets. You know, you can change some stuff, but you can't change most stuff on that. So I hope this video helped if you were struggling with the recalibration station, you didn't know or you didn't understand.